Hi everyone, Dave here. This is Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden. What is Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden? Well, this, obviously. But it's a newish, came out about a month ago, RPG. This is on Xbox One right here. It's a tactical RPG that embodies elements of stealth and open exploration. So you can run around and pick up stuff right there like I just did. Now you're playing as mutants, as you can see the characters. That's a duck, there's a boar, and then there's a human with also has mutation abilities. The mutations act like the level ups in the game. The level ups are perks. The game tells the story of a bunch of survivors out of the apocalypse. They live together on an ark, and one of them, named Hanlon, claims he found Eden, which is this mythological utopia, but he's a very important person in the ark, so now these people have to go out, ducks and them have to go out and find Hanlon and bring him back, or whatever, because the ark can't really survive without him, and neither, so they're kind of SOL there. It's not the greatest story, but tactical RPGs rarely have the greatest stories, so that's fine. I'm playing more for the gameplay than the actual story. I like how there's little dice down there in the bottom, because it's based on a tabletop game and it kind of shows that out there. So you can see now I'm exploring, I'm looking for things I can find. Scrap, which is like the currency. You can see up there I have 113 of them. I can find ancient relics, which unlock different perks when I go back to the Ark. Those are pretty cool. The currency, you get barely any scrap. It kind of sucks in that aspect. But the other thing that's kind of cool is you find weapon parts once again. Those are kind of low, and you use the weapon parts to upgrade your weapons so that they become more powerful. What sets this game apart from other tactical RPGs is the exploration and like that, but also it brings the stealth aspect. The exploration encourages stealth use. As you can see, these are level 20 enemies and I'm level 17. If I get into a straight up shoot 'em out with them, it's probably not going to end well for me, so I want to try to roll around, try to set up a nice ambush, maybe pick them off one by one. The game's really hard if you don't do that, and I failed to do that. Okay, so they all see me now, and now it's my turn to move around. I really like the tactical aspect of the game. There's a lot of interesting things. You can see on the bottom. It's very standard, very XCOM-like. Alright. And so you'll see here, when I move around, one of the cool things I can do is, I don't know if you saw it, but I can position my character, and if you didn't see it here, you'll see it later, and it'll show you like line of sights on the enemies of my character and the percentage to hit before I move, so I know all of that information before I move. Some people might think that makes it too easy or whatever, but I like it. The more transparent something is, especially when it comes to these tactical RPGs where everything has to deal with a dice roll and I don't control very much, the more transparent that is, the more I'm happy. So the strategy is to stealth around and try to pick off stragglers one-on-one, or one by one, and also thin the herd that way, so you don't have as many enemies you're going up against. And even if you have silenced weapons like all of my characters have right now equipped, you could take out somebody who's standing next to somebody if you use all of your turns in a row before they get a chance to act and alert their companions. Where that becomes a problem is if you don't do that, or you fail like I did here, the battles become really hard. And one of the things that I don't like about the game is how stupid hard it can be at times. And I don't mean because the combat itself is all that challenging. It's because the second story mission I had to go on was recommended level 20, and at the time I think I was recommended level 5. So these enemies are way beyond your level very early, and so that can be kind of annoying when you're just trying to go through the story of a game. What's cool is, like, if you just saw, you can hold down a button You can fast forward the enemy turn, and that makes the gameplay go by faster, which is something that's really nice, because sometimes they can, especially in turn-based combat games, the battles can take a while, they drag on. One of the criticisms I have is that despite the fact you can recruit quite a few characters, you can only use 3 in your party at a time instead of being able to have, 4, 5, 6 of them out there like you can in other tactical games. Yeah, I guess it adds a little more to the strategy. It may be a little on the realism because it'd be hard to sneak around with like 6 people as opposed to 3, but I do still kind of wish I had more players or more characters on my team so that I could do a lot better. It would be easier to win the shootouts and rely a little less heavily on the stealth. So I played this, I had heard about it and it looked interesting, but what got me into it was I had tried the Xbox Game Pass for $1 over the past month, and I think it's still, you can try it for $1 right now. And this is one of the games on there. This is one of the more interesting games, at least from my perspective, on there. So seeing it, I had to try it out. My month has since expired, so I didn't actually beat it. That's why this is more of a impressions kind of thing than an actual review. So I had a lot of fun. I probably would have had more fun with it, but the game did crash a lot, and I checked around and that was a problem it had on Steam as well. So it wasn't just the Xbox version, but it was patched right before my subscription ran out, and it didn't crash as much, and I heard other people say that it stopped crashing on them too, so hopefully that's fixed. It's an indie game, so that kind of stuff happens. I'm glad to see that they repaired it. One of the things I'm kind of torn on in the game is the character progression system. Like I said, it's an RPG, and that's pretty cool. The mutations are pretty cool. They give you some interesting perks, like she can pull vines up and like hold players or enemies in place. Duck eventually can get wings and fly around, so that's pretty cool. But health, increasing health is a perk. It's a mutation. It doesn't just automatically happen. Some of the other things like that. While you upgrade your weapons independently to make them more powerful, I just wish you got health increases every time your character leveled up, or at least every so often without having to use your perks, because that's a basic thing in RPGs, and the game can get really challenging if you don't do that. And you see, now that I killed these things, I can run around, I can loot their corpses, get my team back together, because it's cool, you can run around together or separately while you're in your exploration mode. Now I get to loot these corpses and hopefully get some nice loot. One of the final things I want to mention is I enjoy the graphics. I think they're pretty good looking. Once again, this is an indie studio, so it's not the best thing, but it works. I like it. Alright, well, this has been Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden. Thank you for watching. If you liked, like it, hit the like button, subscribe, check out the other videos on my channel. Most importantly, have a great rest of your day.